What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to United Focus. This is your latest Manchester United transfer updates. The window opens in 4 days, Monday the June 15th, and the news today is absolutely stacked. United have made a very significant decision on Elliot Anderson. A massive £165 million double midfield swoop is being reported. Rashford has literally removed Barcelona from his Instagram bio, and Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal are all now entering the race for the United forward. Let's get through every single update right now. Let's start with the decision that has defined United's transfer approach today. And honestly, it is one of the smartest calls this recruitment department has made in years. Manchester United are expected to move on from Elliot Anderson and pursue other targets. Here is the full picture. Manchester City have made a verbal offer of £106 million for the Nottingham Forest midfielder, with a further £15 million in potential add-ons, taking the total package to around £121 million. Forest have responded by holding out for a Premier League record fee to sell him. They are not budging. They want the biggest transfer fee in Premier League history for a 23-year-old who, however talented, has never played Champions League football. United looked at those numbers. United noted that Anderson himself is said to favour a move to the Etihad over Old Trafford, and United made the sensible, mature, disciplined decision. This is not our fight. Walk away. And I want to take a moment to genuinely praise this recruitment department for that call, because the old Manchester United would absolutely have got dragged into this bidding war. Cast your mind back to 2019. United outbid City for Harry Maguire and paid an absurd world record fee for a centre-back. They raised the financial stakes irrationally for Fred. They overpaid for Alexis Sanchez. Time and again, United made panic-driven, ego-driven decisions to beat City to a signing, regardless of whether it made financial sense. That version of Manchester United is gone. The current regime looked at £120 million for Anderson, noted that City are already in pole position and the player prefers them, and said, "We have better ways to spend that money. We need 3 or 4 more signings this summer. Let City overpay. We will build our squad more intelligently." That is sensible, that is disciplined, that is exactly the kind of decision-making that builds sustainable, successful football clubs. Full credit to Michael Carrick and the recruitment team. United move on, and the targets they are moving on to are very exciting indeed. Right, here is the big one that has dominated the transfer news today and is going to dominate the next few weeks of United's summer. According to Give Me Sport, Manchester United are now gearing their full focus towards signing 2 specific midfielders, Alex Scott from Bournemouth and Mateus Fernandes from West Ham. A combined outlay that could reach £165 million. Let that sink in for a moment. £165 million on 2 midfielders, on top of Ederson already confirmed. United are going all in on rebuilding the engine room of this football club. Let's go through each one individually, because both pursuits have significant updates today. Mateus Fernandes first, the 21-year-old West Ham midfielder who had an outstanding individual season despite the Hammers suffering relegation to the Championship. We already know that Fabrizio Romano confirmed direct contact between United and Fernandes's Cesar's agents within the last 48 hours. Fee discussions and salary talks have already started. Romano confirmed he will leave West Ham this summer. The only question is where. The latest update today, West Ham value Fernandes at around £80 million and are in no rush to sell. The Hammers paid £38 million for him just last summer from Southampton. His value has more than doubled in 12 months, and with no financial pressure driving them to sell quickly, the Hammers can afford to wait for full value. United know this, but they also know that Fernandes will not stay at a Championship club. He is too good, too ambitious, and too heavily courted by top clubs across Europe. PSG remain a rival for his signature. Real Madrid and Mourinho have been mentioned. United need to get to the front of this queue and stay there. At £80 million for a 21-year-old of his quality, dynamic, powerful, technically excellent, Premier League proven, that is actually a justifiable fee. If United can get Fernandes and add him alongside Ederson to play next to Kobbie Mainoo, that midfield begins to look genuinely elite. Now here is the one that is going to be a real battle, because Bournemouth have made their position crystal clear and United are preparing to test it. Alex Scott, the 21-year-old Bournemouth midfielder who United view as an ideal dynamic number 8 to partner Manu and Ederson. Bournemouth value him at around £80 million. Owner Bill Foley does not want to sell. They are currently in contract talks with Scott, and they are preparing for European football next season, which means they have genuine pull to keep him. That last point is really significant. Bournemouth in Europe is not a small thing for a player like Scott. It means continental football, bigger profile, bigger games. That is a genuine counter-argument to leaving for United. But here is United's counter-argument: Champions League football. The opportunity to play in Europe's elite competition under Michael Carrick's exciting young United side. The chance to be part of a genuine rebuild at one of the biggest clubs in the world. At 21 years old, that is an extraordinary opportunity. United are now reportedly putting full focus into making this happen. Despite Bournemouth's resistance, despite the £80 million valuation, despite the contract talks, United believe this deal can be done if they apply the right pressure in the right way. The two midfielders together, Scott and Fernandes, would cost around £165 million on top of Ederson. That is over £200 million spent on midfield in a single summer. It is an enormous outlay, but with Casemiro gone, Ugarte leaving and United returning to the Champions League, the need is absolutely real and the ambition is absolutely clear. Now, Marcus Rashford, and today we got one of those social media moments that speaks volumes without a single word being said. Rashford has removed Barcelona from his Instagram bio. After Barcelona confirmed they will not pay the €30 million buy option clause after months of negotiations that ultimately went nowhere, Rashford has quietly updated his profile. Barcelona are gone. That chapter is over. Fabrizio Romano broke the definitive news. Barcelona will not pay the clause, which expires in 5 days. Rashford is formally set to return to Manchester United, and United have made their own position very clear. There are currently no plans to reintegrate Rashford into Michael Carrick's squad for next season. So the question is not whether Rashford plays for United next season. He almost certainly will not. The question is, where does he go? And today, the Daily Mail have reported that 3 Premier League clubs are now set to compete for his signature: Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea and Arsenal. Let's think through each one quickly. Spurs' Roberto De Zerbi is rebuilding at a club that finished 17th in back-to-back seasons. Rashford as a big attacking statement signing could make sense. They need quality and star power. Chelsea, always in the market for Premier League proven forwards. Todd Boehly's ownership has shown no reluctance to spend on big names. Rashford could fit their profile. Arsenal, perhaps the most surprising, but with Gabriel Jesus likely leaving and questions around the left attacking position, Rashford's directness and Premier League pedigree could theoretically appeal to Arteta. Though with Arsenal's plans for Barcola and Krupi, it would be a surprising direction. What is clear is this: Rashford will not be short of options once that Barcelona clause officially expires. He is 28 years old, a Premier League winner, England international, and despite a difficult couple of years, his best football is arguably still ahead of him if he finds the right environment. A strong World Cup with England over the next few weeks could dramatically change his market and his options. United just want this resolved cleanly before pre-season. Get him a club, get the wages off the books, get a decent fee if possible, and move forward. The sooner this is sorted, the better for everyone. Let's not forget that Sandro Tonali has not gone away as a potential United target either, even with the full focus now apparently on Scott and Fernandes. Reports earlier this week had United ready to break their transfer record to sign the Italian from Newcastle at £100 million. Newcastle's hierarchy internally expecting his departure, his agent actively pushing for a move to a title-challenging club. With United now seemingly prioritising Scott and Fernandes, does that mean Tonali is off the table? Not necessarily. If Ugarte generates good sale money, if Xerxes is sold, if the financial picture allows for a third midfield signing, Tonali remains a name that Carrick genuinely admires. His situation at Newcastle is not going to resolve itself quickly either. Whether United end up going for 2 midfielders or 3 will depend heavily on how the exits play out over the next few weeks. Quick update on Manuel Ugarte, who United are desperate to sell this summer to free up funds and wages. Ugarte had minimal impact at United last season, but has been performing much better in an Uruguay shirt. His World Cup campaign, if strong, could be United's best hope of finding a buyer at a decent price. The hierarchy are watching his performances closely and hoping he does enough to put himself in the shop window. Getting a good fee for Ugarte is not just about clearing a player who did not work out. It is directly linked to United's ability to fund the Scott and Fernandes pursuits. The more they generate from outgoings, the more aggressively they can pursue their incoming targets. Beyond midfield, United continue to monitor the attacking market, though it is clearly a secondary priority behind getting the midfield right first. Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa remains a player United are formally interested in. Villa are expected to listen to offers around £80 million. However, with £165 million potentially going on Scott and Fernandes alone, adding Rogers on top would stretch even the most ambitious budget to breaking point. More likely United address attack later in the window once midfield is sorted. Mateus Fernandes Pardo of Lille, the 21-year-old Belgian forward at the World Cup, remains a name in the background as a potential smart buy in the forward area. And Joshua Zirkzee's future continues to cast a shadow over the attacking planning. If he stays, United may be content with their forward options. If he goes, a replacement becomes much more urgent. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss a single update from the moment that window opens. Smash that like button if you enjoyed today's coverage. It means the world to this channel. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you backing United to get Scott and Fernandes done? Smart to walk away from Anderson? And where do you think Rashford ends up? I will see you tomorrow for the next update and on Monday for what promises to be an absolutely electric opening day of the transfer window. See you then.